Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile discussion. In fact, before you grab a drink, let's make sure this video is for you. This video has a very heavy spoiler warning attached to it. That's right, there's been a whole bunch of data mine information with a number of changes that are being made to various bosses in the Gauntlet event, and these have been data mined. Now, if you are someone who is playing Gauntlet competitively, then in that situation, you are absolutely going to need to watch this video. Your rivals in the event will be watching it, or they'll be checking out this information from other sources. If, on the other hand, you're simply playing the Gauntlet as a personal challenge, you want to get as far as you can, but you're not going to be devastated if you end up getting taken out by something you didn't expect, then in that case, I might suggest that you don't watch any of this video, and that you go into it unspoiled. The choice, of course, is up to you. Anyways, what's happened here is that Grinding Gear Games pushed an update recently that provided a number of things to support the upcoming Gauntlet event. But inside that, there's a number of changes to the game files that have been parsed by POE and by other data mining sources. And these include some changes to some of the monsters that you encounter as major milestone progression bosses during the game. From this information, we've been able to work out a number of changes that are going to be taking place in the Gauntlet. This is to various bosses within the Gauntlet environment. And I'd like to see this set of changes be available in the future as an opt-in private league mechanic, but for the moment it is Gauntlet only. Anyways, in Act 1, it looks like Hillock is gaining Leap Slam, just like the Dunes boss. Hailrake will be summoning a minion, and we don't know the details of what that minion is. It looks like maybe Mavale's Cold Geysers are available from the beginning of the fight, not just from the second phase. Then there's a number of other changes that are listed in this document over on Reddit, which I'll put a link to down in the description below. I think the most significant of these changes, though, are the ones that are taking place to the back end of Act 4. We're going to see the Act 4 from after the Crystal Veins get a lot harder as a result of these, assuming that we're reading these changes correctly. Piety's Blood Orb and Blood Orb Explosion dealing large physical damage could be very scary, although that's one we're going to have to see, and ultimately it's something you probably want to level up a bit before you face. But then we've got the really scary stuff here, where Doedre is going to have a temporal bubble. Doedre is already one of the rippiest bosses in the Gauntlet environment. She's mechanically pretty easy, but she's also very unforgiving. This, however, is going to change that because she's not going to be mechanically easy anymore, and you're probably going to want to have some sort of build that can drop a dot on her and then run away for a little while until the dot looks like it's going to expire. Then we have Meligaro is going to gain Shroudwalker, and also it looks like he's gaining the cannot recover energy or life above 50% aura that a lot of rare monsters have. That's pretty scary, and it's going to mean you're going to want to be either really tanky or really high damage so you can burst him down. Then potentially the worst of these is Malachi. If people are reading this right, there's going to be Maven rotating beams in one of these phases. That could be absolutely terrifying. Additionally, I think a lot of these changes are going to incentivize using Portal Grace Period cheesing, so do keep that strategy in mind if you're playing in the Gauntlet. One thing that's very important to note though, is that sometimes the changes are not to the monsters. We're only able to pick up through data mining what changes are made to the monster encounters, and this doesn't capture any changes that are made to the arenas that they're fought in. For example, one thing that would make the encounter against Act 9 Chevron meaningfully more difficult would be if there were various obstacles placed in the arena itself, things that constrain player movement in various ways. We're not going to know if Grinding Gear Games have decided to do that, or do something else, or do nothing at all, until players get up there. But there's a whole bunch of information here that if you're taking Gauntlet seriously and competitively, you're definitely going to want to watch. Anyways, make up your own mind as to whether these spoilers are ones you want to engage with or not. If you're deciding to play in the Gauntlet, hope you have fun, hope you achieve your goals in it. And if you're deciding to sit Gauntlet out, definitely do watch it because it does tend to be extremely good viewing. I'm going to leave it there. May your Varlorbs have interesting results.